So the Flaming Dragon Dumbbell Complex, it's 8 repetitions of 7 different exercises done back to back and non-stop. We'll begin by breaking down each exercise individually. The first exercise is a squat to press. So we're going to squat down with a nice straight back, making sure our heels stay on the ground, and we're going to drive with the legs to take the weights overhead. This is primarily a lower body exercise, so push very hard with the legs and the weights should just fly up overhead like they're weightless. Second exercise is a Romanian deadlift. So we push the hips back till we feel the hamstrings get tight, and then we drive forward and we squeeze the glutes. So hamstrings, glutes. This isn't just bending at the waist. This is pushing the hips back and bringing the hips forward. If this is too easy for you, you can do a single leg deadlift instead, making sure you keep hold of both dumbbells. This would obviously increase the challenge as well as adding a nice balance component to the workout. Regardless of which version you use, the next movement is a bent over row. So we're going to push the hips back, lock in position. We want to feel in the hamstrings here, and we're going to start pulling the dumbbells up to our ribs. And we want a little squeeze at the top of each rep. So we're not just flying up and bouncing down. We want to take ownership of the top position. The next movement is a hammer curl. So the knuckles face out, palms are facing, and we just do a classic old bicep curl. The next movement is an overhead press. And with this, the legs are not going to help at all, ideally, right? If you are having trouble getting the weights overhead, it's okay to bend the knees and pop a little to get them out of the hole. But ideally, we want to try and keep the legs out of this if we can. From here, we have reverse lunges, 8 repetitions per side. So we step back, lower down, and then we step back to the start position. Last exercise is just drop down. You can put the dumbbells down here and do 8 push-ups. If push-ups are a challenge for you, you can always modify and do kneeling push-ups instead. So the Flaming Dragon Dumbbell Complex in its entirety. We're going to start with 8 squat to presses. So once again, the legs are doing most of the work here, keeping a nice straight back and keeping the heels down. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. From here, we're going to go straight into the Romanian deadlift. So hips go back and forward. 2, 3. And remember, if this is too easy for you, the single leg deadlift is an option here, but you would have to do 8 per side. And pushing the hips back, bringing the hips forward. So we're going to go to that bottom position, push the hips back, make sure the hamstrings are engaged. 8 repetition bent over row. And then we're going to stand up, 8 repetition hammer curl. And 8 repetition overhead press. Once again, look, no leg drive. So if the weights are heavy, it's okay to do a little dip with the knees and pop up the weights, but ideally keep the legs completely straight. Now we're going to let the weight fall by the waist, and we're going to go into our reverse lunges, 8 per side. So you don't have to go this deep. If you're not especially flexible or especially strong yet, you can go as low as feels comfortable to you. By this point in the workout, you'll probably be getting pretty tired. And one of the wonderful things about this particular complex is it not only challenges your muscles, but it's also going to challenge your cardiovascular conditioning as well. And then we're going to put the dumbbells down and we're going to finish with 8 push-ups. And that's 1 round of Flaming Dragon.